Good evening and welcome back to Ask the Attorney. I'm Amy Rao-Mohan along with Kevin Kennedy from the Kennedy Law Firm in Clarksville. 3 locations in Clarksville.
Yeah, have one on Wilma Rudolph, the main boulevard coming up, and one on the Fort Campbell Boulevard just outside the 101st military post, 32,000 troops. We love the veterans and love the military. And then our main office is the Kennedy Building right in front of the courthouse there on 3rd Street in Montgomery County.
And you practice all kinds of law.
You name it, we do it. We have a lot of lawyers, and everybody used to say, Kevin, why do you have so many lawyers? Because you need lots of opinions. And the truth is, we've got a lot of lawyers, but tomorrow morning when I get there, we'll have new people, and they'll say, well, can you get so-and-so? Well, he's in Mount Juliet. What about this one? He's gone to Lebanon. Where's this one? Stewart County. Where's this one? Dixon. They're in Davidson County. So even though we all come in, they all go out really fast, too. So they're representing people all over Middle Tennessee. And
I know you've talked about, you've had some major settlements with car wreck cases.
Yes.
And big criminal cases.
Yes, we've had some of the biggest criminal cases around, both in state court and federal court. And I like to always think about loose lips sink ships. Don't do a lot of talking, try to get to the lawyers. I always want that because it makes our job so much easier. And then in the big settlements, yeah, we recently had a $5 million settlement and a $4 million settlement. So those are great. And you know, people all the time say, well, how do you get them? You just got, first you got to have a good case. Then you just got to work like crazy, and they don't happen overnight. And then you have to have the resources available to hire all the experts. So, you know, when people say, hey, I'd like to get Bob next door to me, who's a really great guy, and I would too, because we all like Bob. But Bob cannot fight that multi-billion-dollar insurance with all their staff attorneys, and they'll overwork you. And then they have 2 or 3 experts, and the experts sometimes are $10,000, $15,000. Somebody has to pay those guys, or they won't do it. And then you've got all the court reporters travel in and out. Litigation is very expensive.
It is. So please call that number. Take advantage of this time to call Kevin and ask those questions to him that you would like answered, and free advice from a lawyer is always good.
Yeah, we like to help. You know, my basic nature, my whole life, I always wanted to help someone. And even if we walked out of here tonight and someone was, their car was down, my nature is to want to help them. And whether you're in the law business or rental business, the horse business, it's just been who I am. We're committed to helping people. I put that on the front of the building when we first went in, and it's a way of life for me today.
Again, that number is 737 plus 737 7587. We're going to take a call now from Pat. Hi, Pat.
Hello. My question for the attorney is that I have a roommate. We've been really great friends for 7 years. He got in trouble about 4 years ago, went to court about 3 years ago, and made a deal through the DA that he would only get a year's probation.
All right.
After that, he ended up, he's still on probation. It's been 3 years since then, and every time he goes to the courthouse, they tell him there's no paperwork on it filed anywhere in the courthouse, and there's no way for him to talk to the judge. What do you recommend he do?
Well, there's a misunderstanding somewhere, because if you got 1 year, it couldn't be extended 3 years unless he violated it and they extend it through the court. And if I were him, I'd hire a lawyer. Because if something's going on, and at least get to the bottom of it, find out, is he still having to attend probation? Is he still paying money? What's going on? And so there's a misunderstanding somewhere.
Yeah, or his probation officer may be able to answer some of those questions.
Yes.
So, all right, we've got Adrian here. Hi, Adrian.
Hello.
How can we help you tonight?
Well, my father, before he passed away, his mom did not have a will, but there was a piece of property.
Okay.
He had an affidavit of heirship or inheritance or whatever.
Okay.
And had the house put in everybody's name, all of his siblings.
Okay.
And now one of the uncles are saying that he has a will from my grandmother. But when you call down to the deeds office, it's listed as an affidavit of inheritance.
Yes.
So what do you think that he has? Could there be a will out there that wasn't
Yes, there could be a will that was out there, and then you'd like to say, well, where is this will? And then again, if there's certain time frames that will has to come forward. And if there was heirship, it just depends. You need to look at the statute of limitations. Was the estate filed? Was it opened? And if it is open, there's like 6 months for people to come forward with their claims. If they don't make their claims, then once the thing is established and sent through the court system, judge signs off of it, that's final. No one appeals it, that's final.
All right, we've got Jimmy here. Hi, Jimmy.
Hello.
Hello, Jimmy. What can we do for you?
The question, somebody I live with has filed bankruptcy.
Okay.
And the house I live in is mine and the other person's legally.
Okay.
So what my question is, if I'm paying the mortgage and I paid every payment, can I basically lose my home even though I paid every payment, the mortgage payment?
We have to know who the people are.
Yeah, are you married?
No, ma'am.
And not related in any way?
No, it's my mother.
Okay. Yeah, well, one of the things, whenever we put our name on property with someone, that is a big problem because one can file bankruptcy. It's kind of called joint and several liability. Amy and I buy a car. And I said, Amy, I thought you were going to pay the $1,000 a month. And Amy said, well, I'm fed up. I don't want to see you and I don't want to see that car. I said, well, you've hoodooed me, Amy. I'm going to have to pay it.
My favorite word.
Amy goes out here and files bankruptcy. Well, I'm going to have to pay all of it or I can be brought into the bankruptcy too. So everyone, a lot of people, when they have their cars with husband and wives, they put the cars in one name, the husband's name or the wife's. You know why? Because they would sue one or the other in a car wreck. So that's something to keep in mind. Just need to know what your circumstances are. But yep, that can happen.
All right, we've got Sarah here tonight. Hi, Sarah.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good. How can we help you?
Yes, my question is, I currently have a restraining order in the state of Georgia, and this person continues to hack into my cell phones, and I'm having problems proving that. I have the burden of proof.
Yes.
Several police reports, and if I'm not able to prove that this person is doing that, then they cannot arrest this person. How can I obtain that information on my own, or what type of attorney can I hire to help me with that?
What you're probably going to have to do is hire an expert to look at your phone and see how it's hacked in and if they can go back. We've been involved in situations very similar to that where that's what people do for a living. They hack for the government, and they were married and they would go back and keep later going into their emails, and they change phones and change emails, but of course those guys are skilled, and I'd get a private investigator and let them put it together, and then they can testify in court, run it back.
Okay, we've got Cynthia here who's got a question for us. Hi, Cynthia.
Yes, my name is Cynthia Smith. I have a special needs trust, and I've only gotten part of it because there was a lien on it, but it has been taken out. It's been taken off. How long will I be able to get the rest of the funds in my trust?
First, you need to go to the trust document itself, and the trust document usually spells that out. If they didn't spell it out specifically, and sometimes they give wide discretion to the trustee to use that this type trust would allow the trustee to use their discretion, health, safety, welfare. And then one of the other lawyers in my office, he's broken several trusts like that where people say it was initially set up and it was working, but it doesn't work now, so we need to go ahead. The circumstances have changed, and a court order can break the trust, and all the funds could be taken from it.
Okay. A lot of good advice and more to come. So 737 plus 737 7587 is the number to call. And I understand this Saturday you are going to be on a float.
Yeah, we've got the Christmas parade in Clarksville, and every year the Kennedy Law Firm always puts together a float. We have a beautiful, it's at night, so it'll all be lit up, and then all the lawyers and the support staff and all those who are connected to the Kennedy Law Firm, we're going to walk and ride the float, and it'll be exciting times. You know, we have to try to be a part of the community. Nashville, Clarksville, and the businesses, when we're most productive, is when the businesses support the community and the churches support the businesses and the civic clubs support the businesses and the churches. That's when we're really making a difference. And every year, you know, we pass out candy. It's a thrilling time. Christmas, you know, we put up our billboards, Keep Christ in Christmas. This year will be the 32nd year that the Kennedy Law Firm's been able to do that. And I even told one of the girls, I said, now that was some commitment. Even though I was a part of it, I said, that was some commitment. And so we love to do it. And it's great to be, I've always been community minded. And if I could teach my children, I would teach them. What would I teach yours? I teach yours the same thing. Be community minded. And this Christmas, have an open heart, willing to help. There are a lot that are going to be less fortunate out there.
And will you be dressed up on this float?
I'll be dressed up, always. A little fun and festivity. You know, I'm known for the glitter man a lot of times, so they'll all be looking. I'll have my little megaphone. They say, well, what do you say on the megaphone? I said, I usually say, when you don't know where to turn, y'all turn to the Kennedy Law Firm, and everybody in the crowd laughs, and it's the way it goes.
All right, well, sounds like a lot of fun on Saturday in Clarksville. We're going to take some more calls. Again, 737+ 737-7587. Got Sheila on the line. Hi, Sheila.
Hey.
What can we
how
do
can we
for you,
help you?
Sheila?
Oh, yes, sir. I was wondering, I'm really curious. I just recently went through, about 3 months ago, went through an employment agency. And at this employment agency, they did a background check on me.
All right.
Okay, and I'm okay with that. I got the job. Well, when I started working there, there's a bunch of illegal aliens there. And I asked them girls, which I'm friends with them, but I asked them, I said, well, what agencies you go through? And then they told me, which was the same one I went through. And I said, did they do a background check on you, you know? And she said, no. And so I'm wondering, you know, could I sue this agency, me being American, and they do a background check on me, but yet they won't do it on the illegal aliens, and they're hiring them?
Well, now that sounds like that is a problem for the Department of Labor, Tennessee Department of Labor, and it could be a complaint. You can't discriminate.
I'm not sure that she's got a cause of action, but
it's a gray area, but I would never say never. I would certainly go to them and let them investigate that, because they can get in trouble over having those kind of practices, hiring practices. And if they have a policy that they're supposed to do background checks and they're not, I think that's a problem.
All right, again, that number is at the bottom of your screen, 737+ 737-7587. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with Kevin Kennedy after this.